Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to part 8, 9, 8 or 9. It's been a month. It's been a month since the last shipyards part. I genuinely forgot what part we were on there for a second. No, not really. I knew we were on part 8. But yeah, guys, it has been a long time. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back in building again. Gosh, it's been so long though. It's been so long since the last part. I don't even remember what we did in part 7. What the hell did we do in part 7? I think it was like the Arquitens or something. We're back. We're back finally. Back building. I know a lot of you guys have been asking where the the next parts are going to be. But this is a pretty big update. Pretty big update. Just gonna say that because this one doesn't quite have phase 1 done, but it's pretty much done. There's just a few more things to add in, but it's basically done. The structural stuff is complete on phase 1. Also, in this video, I did redesign some of the TIE fighters, so I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be relieved about that because I know many of you guys have been telling me that you do not like the current TIE fighters that were on the mock, or at least in the past parts. But yeah, in this video, we're just going to be looking at the general structure and the new additions that I added in. It's pretty much going to be a straightforward video, just showing you guys what I've built, and also that TIE fighter, as well as I want to discuss kind of the future of this mock, because there's kind of a pivotal point. As I was building this, I realized, something is going to have to change with how I'm doing certain things, and I want to explain that more as we get more into the video, when I'm actually kind of in a first-person point of view showing you guys around the mock, because I feel like you guys are going to just better understand what I'm trying to say. But anyways, that's all I have to say for the introduction of this video. But let's go ahead and get on and look at this mock and see the newest additions. All right, guys, so here we are. Obviously, this is the mock, of course. I think what I'm going to do, I think you guys know the basic gist of how these videos work. I go in, show you guys what I've added. But I think what we're going to do today is we're going to first take a look at these TIE fighters, these redesigned TIE fighters, so we can see them here. So these are the TIE fighters I was messing around with. I used, some studs, as well as a black 1x1 plate, and then a black 1x1 tile. Now, I don't really have a lot of black 1x1 plates or tile. So right now, conveniently, I made 4. And that was basically just to show you guys kind of the new design. I don't know what you guys think about that. I do have the old design in there, I think. Of course, those are pretty big. I like those more, but they're just too big. They're too big for scale. So I feel like this is probably the best course of action with this design, because you can see that scales beautifully. That really scales beautifully to what it actually needs to be, to the Star Destroyer, to the Gozanti, the Arquitens, the AT-AT. There's just so much stuff that it scales better with. It's almost, actually, I think it's pretty spot on, actually, to how the scaling is supposed to be for TIE fighters. So this is probably what I'm going to go with, but I would still like to hear your guys' feedback on the overall look. But I'm just going to let you guys know now that I can't make it any smaller. I don't think I can really mess around with different parts too much, just because it's got to stay, that size for it to make sense. So now that I showed you guys the TIE fighters, let's go ahead and get on to the actual main topic of this video. This is what I have. This is what I've built. I've built this in the past, 3 days I was building this. So we're getting onto the fuel tanks. Obviously that's going to be the topic of the video, is the fuel tanks. I mentioned this in the last video. I'm pretty sure it's been so long since the last video, I don't even remember what I said in that. But I'm pretty sure I mentioned the fuel tanks. I was going to add that in the next part, and I did. So I have the fuel tanks in there. I've got 2 different types of ones here, as well as I've got some piping through here that kind of makes it look like it makes sense. Now, obviously here the greebling is not done. I need to do that. Again, this is one of those things I was talking about earlier in the video, that this phase 1 is pretty much done. It's just there's a few more detailing stuff, of course, on the side, as well as I've got to flatten off this top part. Now here I did add 2 extra hangers. I said in the last video, I think it was in the last video, I was gonna do one hanger, like one extra hanger. I did two actually, because I had enough room for it. I figured I might as well. So I think later on what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have some type of like hose or pipe or something that's gonna go all the way over here and reach this engine to make it look like, you know, it's actually fueling up the destroyer. And I think that'd be pretty cool actually if, you know, I did that, because it actually shows what the purpose is. I'm digging the overall look of this whole thing. Obviously it's not done, I still have to add some agreeable stuff, but it's looking pretty good. Now over here, I've got a little generator room in here. So there's a little like machine thing there that I just kind of came up with real quick. I got a little catwalk back there, as well as some more piping, and that is also to complement the actual fuel pumps. I also want to take a look at this angle, because if you guys notice right there, that whole thing is sloped up, and I just love that look because it pretty much foreshadows this slope. So it's doing the same exact thing over there, and I think that's just so cool looking over there. You can kind of see it with the actual like kind of middle like command center type thing where it's sloping up. I think that just looks really cool, and I think I pulled it off really well. So that leads me to one more thing, and I'm gonna, you know, after that I want to talk about my future plans or ideas that I had that might result in changing the mock a little bit. So obviously here, a lot of filler. I think it's kind of cool to see this actually, like how I build the actual structure up with the filler. If we look over here, this was the bin that I had door frames in, and it was loaded to the top. I couldn't even like shut the top down, and now I have nothing left. As well as the brick. I mean, that was full of brick. This was full of brick. I mean, just completely loaded down with brick. And now I am basically out of filler. And that's obviously a problem because, like I said earlier in other videos, building up is more expensive. It kills your parts. It's just bad. It's bad when you build up. I kind of knew that going into this, but I didn't really know how bad it was going to be because I've never built anything this high up before, you know, at this size. So this is just killing my parts. It's resulting to the point now where I'm having to pretty much make a bricklink order every single part that I do. And that's just, it's going to kill the funding. It's going to kill the parts. So I started to brainstorm, and this one I'm going to talk about the future mock, or the future idea that I had. And I really don't know how you guys are going to see this. So I had an idea, and this is resulting in, you know, two different reasons why. So obviously the idea originally was to have this come down, and then you're going to have like a back structure here that's going to go all the way down there. And then, of course, this is going to pretty much be copy and pasted over here. So obviously that's going to take a ton of parts. That's going to take a lot of money to do that, especially at the area that I'm at now. Pretty much my own parts collection got me pretty much done with phase one. I only had to make like 2 bricklink orders, I think, for phase one. So I'm very proud of my parts collection on what I was able to pull off. But now it's getting to the point where everything is going to have to rely off a bricklink order. So the idea that I had was to pretty much stick to the original plan, you know, have that. Obviously, that's there already. You know, bring this down, you're going to have the airstrip. And what I was actually thinking was, instead of copy and pasting this, just not have a structure here. And the reason why I'm having this idea is because, one, if we look at it this way, if you had another structure here, you're only going to have one money shot, right? So you're only going to be able to look at it one way, and it's going to be this way. Another thing is, I would have to move this Star Destroyer over to where it's almost hugging this side, as well as it would be hugging this side of the structure. So all the detail on this mock on the side is pretty much going to be covered up by the Star Destroyer, which is unfortunate because I've thrown in a lot of detail into this mock on the sides, and I don't really want that to be covered up. And I think where the distance is right now with the Star Destroyer is like perfect, because you can just look in between there. And it also, I feel like it makes it look bigger, like everything looks bigger. Like I feel like if I cram everything in there, everything's gonna look very small. It's still gonna be the same 12 gray base plates.
But this is pretty much going to be tile. And I feel like it just like the whole thing would just look bigger if I did that. Like if you can imagine that, like you have that and then it cuts across here and then this is not, you know, a structure's not built here. I mean, I feel like you guys can kind of gauge what I'm saying here is that everything would look extremely crammed in. It wouldn't look as massive as I want it to be, because again, everything would be crammed into one area. And also you only have one money shot, which would be from here. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of that idea. I mean, I'm really not sure. And again, I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I'm just saying that it's an idea, because this is killing my parts. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. I think I've been talking too long. I'm gonna shut up. And yeah. I think that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, please drop a like down below. And if you're not subscribed already, please go and subscribe because that would be much appreciated. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.